I need to get a tripod. Julian Salamina did a video where he made this whipped coffee, and I thought, that looks really good, and then I made it, and then I remembered I don't like coffee, and it also makes me sick. So I felt horrible the whole day, and then after supper I thought, I'm gonna make it again. And I still don't like it. I don't know why I do this to myself. Being in a slump creatively is super bad and awful. Like feeling. It's of course not bad if it's happening, because I mean everyone has times where they have a hard time producing content, but it's really disheartening, especially when there's other people on the internet who are still doing it and making you feel horrible because you can't bring yourself to do it. And some of the pieces of advice that I see people give and that I tend to give to other people are things like, it's not a race, and stop comparing yourself to other people, which is valid. It's good advice. You should, take those things to heart. But the thing about those 2 points is that in themselves, those are like big steps that can be hard to know how to do. So as I was thinking a lot and trying to figure out certain steps that would help me, like breaking them down more to like even more really highly specific things to do. And like, it's hard. It's hard to think of ways to make yourself feel better about this. There's so many things that I could say about how to not compare yourself to people. I actually wrote like 3 pages in this notebook on like tips to do that, and I was gonna make a completely other different video about it, and then I got bored, so I didn't. So I have like a slightly different thing that I was gonna say, because I have some more notes as I do. So just like tips to like kind of kickstart yourself, like if executive dysfunction is like really kicking your ass, here's some tips to like get started again. I don't know how well these are gonna work because I haven't actually tried them. I just kind of thought of them like a couple nights ago, and then I spent the past 2 days playing Animal Crossing instead of trying to better myself. Find expression elsewhere if you are having difficulties putting out your specific base talent of art. For example, if your main thing is art, like drawing, pick a different medium to express yourself and start doing that instead. You don't have to be good at it. It's just something that you find fun and you can do as a hobby instead of something that is still akin to work in your head. Because if you have a webcomic that you're doing, or you have like stuff that you're doing that that are, projects, they are sorted into the work category of your brain, and that's partially the reason why it's so hard to do that stuff, because you don't see it as like a fun hobby anymore, even though it is a fun hobby. It's just that you've moved to the point where you're taking it so seriously that it becomes like work hobby instead of just plain old hobby. So you need to find something that is a hobby, just straight up a hobby, something you're just doing for fun. Maybe you're good at it, maybe you're bad at it, but whatever the case, you're doing it purely for enjoyment. You should start to feel more inspired to get back into your other things soon. Okay. You should start feeling more inspired to get back into your I don't know why I'm struggling to define this. You should feel more inspired to get back to your main craft very soon. But here's the kicker, don't stop. Keep doing that thing that you're doing as a hobby. Because you're in a slump right now. And this hobby is trying to get you out. This is what you're trying to do with this hobby, is to get out of the slump. This is a mountain that you're trying to be on. This is the flat ground, and then this is a pit, right? The goal with this step, what you want to be doing, is being on the mountain, and you're in the pit right now. But this step is not to get you out of the pit and onto the mountain, it's to get you out of the pit and onto the ground. Just onto the ground for now. You'll probably get burned out very easily if you try to go back to your main thing. the moment you start feeling inspired. So just let yourself take some time. Just let yourself take a long time to just chill. Sometimes you need a lot of time off, and that's okay. Also remember that it's completely fine if you just want to chill and have a chill day. Ask yourself, what are the things that you want to do, and what are the things that you feel obligated to do? Like, are you playing Animal Crossing all day because you want to play Animal Crossing? Or are you playing Animal Crossing all day because you feel too emotionally exhausted to do anything else, and this is just an easy thing for you to do? Because the first one is totally fine. You're having fun. That's not going to make you feel bad. If you want to play Animal Crossing, go for it. But if you're trying to use video games as a substitute for self-care, I'm not saying you're invalid. You're very valid. It's just that it's not going to help you in the long run. And I'm sure you know that. So you don't need me to tell you that. But it's still good, a good first step to figure out what are the things you're doing because you actually enjoy them, and what are the things you're doing out of obligation just because there's nothing else to do. Speaking of which, here's a new thing that I've decided to try, which is, the healthy eating tips where it's if you're craving chips, replace it with carrots and then eat carrots every time you have your craving for chips. Do that, but instead of food items, replace your feelings with other feelings. So if you're feeling like all you want to do is stay in bed in your pajamas and do nothing, take that feeling and be like, I want to take a shower instead, and then do it. Or if you're sitting there and you're feeling really kind of blah and you think, I should probably play some video games because, I'll accomplish something and it's really easy. Be like, no. I'm gonna wash some windows first. And then do it. I haven't actually tried this tip yet. I just think that logically, it should do something. Because no one likes doing chores, but as soon as you finish the chore, you feel so good. And then you just forget that doing the chore made you feel good, and then when it's the next time to do chores, you're like, I don't want to do this. I'll make a more comprehensive video on my bullet points about how to stop comparing yourself to other people later, as soon as I can make it into not just chunks of text. Because if you give me, essentially this is prose, I'm gonna paraphrase it, and I'm not gonna do a good job of it because I'm not good at improvising. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Bye!